Good afternoon, everyone. EagleX from ATX EagleX Gaming here today, and I have our Marketwatch for July 8th. There's been a lot moving on in the market, lots of cool things to talk about, and things to look forward to in the upcoming set and be prepared for. First of all, if you guys haven't, I really appreciate if you can like, comment, subscribe. I'm almost at that 500 subscriber mark, which will be a big milestone. I would appreciate if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with the latest stuff for the channel. With that being said, let's get rolling. So first things first, I like to start out with booster boxes. Sealed products shows you where the singles typically are going to be trending if it's up or down. There's nothing super notable here today. The only thing you can really see is our next set, BT9, is available for pre-order at $92. Don't buy the pre-sales, that's pricey. You can get it cheaper at most LGSs. Double Diamond is starting to climb up though, as it has the Ghost Omni, has lots of good rares. It's almost like a second BT5 set, because if you think about like all the staples you have from the set for X Antibody, it really is like a stronger set to look at. So let's look at like your relevance. So you see like what's moving. TK Kari's Reinforced Memory Boost, your BL Star stuff, your Dual Tamers, your Floodgates. Like, you have lots of powerful things in this set. And not to mention, like, the bonds at some point could go up again, but they're kind of in a rough spot for the format. But yeah, it's a solid set overall with very playable cards. But next thing I want to talk about, EX2. This set, guys, I was not expecting it to be nearly as hot as it was. And I'm wrong sometimes. And this is definitely a time where I undervalued the set. I knew this was a favored season. I knew this had higher quality cards than EX1, but this is the first time I didn't get a case, and I regret it so much. Because there's so many cards that hold value. Like, the alt arts are crazy. Like, you have stuff that's consistently above $20. Not to mention, like, stuff's going up, like this Digimon egg, this card, oh my gosh, it's $45 already. This is a card, like, if you're not paying attention, this will be a very strong card for security control decks, for Gallantmon decks. It's splashable because the red egg and Dash Pack Yomon are such a strong combo. So if you haven't gotten them, I would really keep an eye out and figure out what price you're comfortable buying them at. Similar with the Tocado. I'm not as hyped about Tocado as I am the Digimon egg. But I will say, like, Sakuya alt art, this does look amazing. And its price is reflected with that. Not just, like, it looks good, but it's a fan favorite line, and it's actually a pretty decent card. It's not, like, game-breaking tier 1, but it's very respectable. So that's things I want to point out from EX2 at the moment. Did you guys realize Thomas Norstein had a buyout? Not much to it, really. Like, you don't have any confirmed support for it at the moment. In fact, we don't know if there even will be support. I imagine there will be at some point, but people are banking on the fact that this tamer will see support in the upcoming reveals. So if you have extra of these lying around, I would just dump them. On a similar note, Alt-Art Biomon. I want to give a shout out to my Discord channel. If you guys aren't in it, you can join the link below. But this is something brought up, like the Alt-Art Biomon from EX1. It's been bought up, and it's not long until it's gone from the market on TCG Player at least. And they have been selling like within the past few days. Obviously, this threshold's like new waters for the price, but it is a very good generic card, especially for red aggressive decks. And if you guys didn't see, Green Hybrid actually won. Shout out to Russell. The last Ultimate Cup. It's actually caused some of the green tamers to go up in price. Mimi will be played for Grandis Quagamon, but the Henry tamer, I don't think he was even used in the deck, but JPs have been going up because it was used in the deck as a prominent 4 of. You can see this small spike here. So if you have extra JPs lying around, now's probably a better time to move them. But there's nothing super crazy here. I think the Dual Tamer, the Izzy-Mimi Dual Tamer is not bad either. as it was using lists. I'm not finding it here. Oh, here it is. I was just scrolling past it every time. This card also saw a spike. It was played in the list. It was a great way to cheat out to your level 6s if you didn't have them in hand. Not to mention, like, you're going to suspend stuff, so you will get the memory blessing with how the deck was built. And just something if you guys haven't noticed. You guys remember when Promo Diaboromon was like in the $60 range? Look what reprints have done to this card. That is a great thing for new players and players that are now trying to build this deck that used to be paywalled so hard. It's not a great spot right now, which is part of the reason that you see it dipping so hard. But like, it's an accessible promo. Same thing with Pulsemon if I were to pull that up. Now let's talk about some future decks. So I talk about Grandis a lot. This will be one of the new hype decks as green players have kind of been shafted the last few sets on getting like a very viable good deck. And every single Grandis deck, I've talked about before, we know we have the Grand Quaggas. They're in every build. These are $15 now. People are getting their copies and they're becoming more scarce. If you have extras, good time to sell them for good money. If you don't have them, I would scoop these up sooner than later. But I have a filter on here. For Starter Deck 4, Card 8, that is your Kabu blocker. If you're trying to go for max rarity, figure out what you consider max rarity. Do you consider the Judge Stamp? Do you consider the Finalist one? And if you don't have the regular ones, not a bad time to scoop them either. But I would say the Judge one's probably a decent price at $30. Like, I would actually consider scooping it if I wanted to go that route for max rarity. Another card that a lot of the builds are on is this Kokuamon. So if I were to type this in to Digimon Meta, and I'll show you the reason why here in a second, he's using quite a few builds. And the reason for this is because he has the X antibody which goes over him. Kokuamon X antibody. If I can zoom in. There we go. To reveal top 3 cards of your deck, on play or when digivolving. It's an extra cycle for 0 memory. Like, the on play is a really strong part. You search for an Insectoid and then X antibody option is like the main highlights. So it can grab your Grand Quagga as he is an insect. It can grab basically anything in the line. So if you don't have this common card, scoop up your set for like $1. Because it will see play. Similar with Gummymon, this is either the 5th egg or the main egg of Grand Quagga, as it's a way to draw, and the Grandis suspends something, so you will get the proc more and often than not. But like, if you already are at your level 6 and you go into Grandis to go for a draw, you aren't really drawing for much else, as you have your OTK stack already. And the last card is obviously the Grand Quaggamon. Next, I want to point out Magnamon. He does get his X antibody, so if you look for his current targets, there's only one Magnamon. If you don't have them, now might be the best time to get them while they're in the $9 range. If it's really played in high demand, I can see the regular going to like maybe $15 and the alt-art going up to $60, but that's if this deck has a lot of popularity, like X Antibody does already. Next, I want to talk about Wargreymon X Antibody. There is one card that I think is so important you want to get these, and that is the Wargreymon. He is getting a reprint in like the Dash Pack, Starter Deck 11 form, and BT, I think it was 10. It's either 9 or 10, I can't remember at the moment. But if you don't get that 1 in like 8 of getting his reprint, you just won't have these. It's something to keep in mind, because security decks are very strong. Bielstar is one of those decks. Security Control is another one of those decks. So I would anticipate I'm getting copies of him sooner than later. Similar to Blitzomni, this card's just slowly been going up as he is a strong finisher, just to blitz, restand, and take the game after you get your 6 checks or whatever you're doing with your deck. And the last deck I really want to touch on is Bielstar. Bielstar is a very good secret to pick up right now, considering she's less than $20. She had a uptrend of like going to $25, but now she's going down a bit. Just keep in mind, this card will see play. Similar with the 7 cost options that pair well with her. I would really keep an eye out for Kakaida's Breath and Nailbone as they're starter deck exclusives that see a lot of play. As Kakaida's gets around a lot of removal, protection, And Nailbone is a way to build board and pressure in a lot of matchups. That being said, if you guys enjoy this content, like I said at the beginning, I appreciate if you could give a like, comment, subscribe. With that being said, take care, y'all, and have a nice day.